thoughts tomorrow night?
Excited. Big game for us. Every game's big now. 11 games left, and we're in a tight race out west. So coming off a loss, we're all excited to get back out there.
Coach, we're here. We sent you Jimmy, and so can you talk for a minute about the impact he's had on your team?
It's been amazing. He's one of the best players in the league. He has instantly transformed our team. We're 16-4 since we got him. He's a very unique talent. He's a superstar, but he's a subtle superstar. You know, he doesn't wow you with his leaping ability or shooting prowess or speed. It's just his brute strength and his brain. He is one of the smartest players I've ever been around, and his ability to just generate open shot after open shot is impressive. And he's obviously a great two-way player. He's a hell of a defender, and we're lucky to have him.
You've been through a lot of these guy plays former team first-time moments. Today it's a big deal. When the ball goes up, is it a big deal tomorrow too?
Sure, it'll be a charged atmosphere. I mean, I'm sure it'll be emotional on many levels. I know Jimmy's just going to lock in and play, and he's very capable of that. But there's no getting around the fact that what he meant to this team, this organization, this city, that will come out tomorrow. It's part of sports, but it's kind of what makes sports too, is the emotional connection that everyone has with players and teams. And so you get these nights that can be tricky, but I know Jimmy will handle it well. I know our guys will handle it well.
And there's a flip side too with Wiggs, obviously, and we all know how highly you thought of him, and rightly so, of course. Just how happy are you to see him again, I guess?
We're all thrilled to see Wiggs. Wiggs is one of my favorite guys. I wish we still had Miami in the Bay, so that will have to wait till next year. But Wiggs will get an enormous standing ovation when he returns to the Bay in front of our fans, both for his contributions and just for his humanity, who he is, what kind of person he is. He's beloved in our locker room and throughout the Bay. So it'll be great to see him, and hopefully he doesn't have 42 against us. So.
Do you sense that Steph has a little extra motivation to try to get back for this game because of the Jimmy factor?
Jimmy, Steph feels, an obligation always to be there for his teammates, regardless of the circumstances. He's an amazing teammate, and he wants to get back as soon as possible, mainly so we can, win games and climb the ladder in the playoff race. But no doubt he wants to be there for Jimmy too. And it's one of the things I love about Steph. He's always there for his guys.
In that sense, you guys had the Durant return game in OKC. What do you remember about, I guess, the internal motivation for y'all to perform for Kevin that night?
Yeah, that was maybe the most emotional return game I've ever been a part of, and kind of got ugly, really. So it was important for our guys to go to bat for Kevin, and they all did. And it was nice to get that behind us when it happened. But like I said, there's just going to be games like this in the NBA season because of the emotion involved in sports. So you handle them when they come, and you just support your teammate, and then you move forward.
You talked about the battle in the West. There's one in the East now too. Do you feel like playoffs kind of started very quietly, like 2 or 3 weeks ago for a lot?
I do. I think the play-in tournament, maybe this is the 5th year of it, 6th year or something like that. It's basically generated a playoff race within the playoff race from the day it started. I haven't loved it because we've been on the wrong end of it. We're 0-3 in these play-in games, so you finish in the top 8. You feel like you should be in the playoffs. On the other hand, it's been great for the league. If you're 8th or 7th, well, you had 82 games to do better, and you didn't do better, and this is the new format. But it has been really effective in generating these races within the races, and it's kept a lot of teams in the hunt. I think in general, that's a really good thing for the league.
How does Steph look at practice today?
Good. We didn't scrimmage or anything, but he was moving great. And, surprised he knocked down a lot of shots too.
Watching any college ball at all?
I watched my Wildcats last night. Yeah. So it's tournament time. Always fun.
Was this a particularly, spirited practice, considering not what's up tomorrow, but the fact that you got 2 off days and you actually got to practice?
Yeah, well, we needed a practice. We haven't practiced in a week or so, and so we got some good work in. Hopefully that'll sharpen us up a little bit. And we got to bounce back tomorrow for sure.
Where are you seeing slippage?
I thought the other night our defensive rotations were poor. I think we haven't done as good a job of crashing the offensive glass. That's led to some poor transition defense. The other night, the first quarter, I think they scored 40 in Atlanta against us, and a lot of slippage on both ends. And so that's, kind of how it works in the NBA. 82 games, you go through a lot of games, you have a stretch where you don't practice, you lose focus a little bit, and it's important to bounce back and refocus, so that's the plan.
At this point, how up to speed would you say Jimmy is in terms of knowing all the plays, both defensively and
I would say that it's been more about us evolving as a team. It's not about plays. There are still a couple plays that we run that maybe he's not sure of because we haven't run it very often, and I might call something and he's not sure of it. But we've changed our style. You can see it. It just happened organically. Like, we didn't sit there as a staff and say, all right, we're going to, do this and that. It's guys playing basketball together. And Jimmy is, analytically, he's the number 1 ISO player in the league. So we're going to ISO. We've never been an ISO team, but we are going to ISO because that's what our personnel tells us we should do. So what we're working on is spacing around Jimmy, making sure we're in the right spots. We've had 4 or 5 plays in the last couple games where we didn't get guys to the corner when Jimmy was driving. And it's like, you have to have a guy there because he's going to find you. And so it's been more like subtle adjustments like that to, playing a little bit different style. And then hopefully the end result is we blend both. We have the ISO of Jimmy, we have the movement of Steph, we have the pace, we have the energy, and if we can put all that stuff together, we feel like we can improve our offense.
Steve, how much ISO would you say you've run in your tenure?
Not much. I mean, Kevin, we'd put Kevin on the block a little bit, and try to get a switch and throw him the ball on the block. And, there was some of that. But, Jimmy's a very unique ISO player because of his strength. He's just brute force when he's coming into the paint, downhill. And his footwork is amazing. So jump stop, pivot, bodies are, flying around, and then he finds shooters all the time. So spacing is paramount. And we haven't done a whole lot of that, but it's that's what we're going to do because he's as soon as he got here, we started winning. And it wasn't anything about strategy. It was about the guys learning how to play around him. And that's what we have to focus on. And it actually simplifies things as long as we're spaced well. Just get him the ball, and he's going to get us a good shot.
To follow on that, how impactful was it to have his scoring presence or pop in the post in particular?
It's big. The foul, the free throws that he gets, the fouls that he generates. And then, if teams are going to top lock Steph, like they've been doing a lot, and there's no help defense if Steph is on that weak side. And so there's a lot of room in there for Jimmy. And so that's the balance we're trying to find and exploit.
Of course, watching Jimmy, we all know just how talented he is. But what is something that you didn't really realize or be able to fully appreciate until he's on your team?
I think the subtle nature of his game is more easy to appreciate when you see it every day. So it's the consistency of the effort, the energy, the style of play, the way he pulls his teammates aside to advise them, talk to them, the way he plays one-on-one with them after practice to try to help them get better. He's an amazing teammate, and he's a pro. I mean, he's ready to work every single day, and so it's been a joy to coach him.
Are you enjoying your Florida residency?
We are, yeah, 5 days in South Beach can either make or break a season, so we'll see how this goes.
Coach, while we're on the West real quick, I know, you know, there's going to be a matchup against the Lakers here, and they got some newfound talent as well. And so have you given that any thought down the road as far as?
Lakers? That's like 4 or 5 games away, so I'm not giving it any thought. You know, thoughts are all on Miami right now.